Here we are starting for the spherical mirrors. These two are the part of the spherical mirror, types of the spherical mirrors. This is the convex one and this is the concave one. Its back is here. The polished surface is bulged out surface. This bulged out surface is the polished one. Here the curved in surface is the polished one. Okay, this is the back. Now the terms related with these spherical mirrors. Before the terms, you should know that these spherical mirrors are part of the sphere. Okay, that is why it is called spherical mirror, because these are the parts of the sphere. So in this case, 3 dimension, remember that it is the part of the ball, you can say. Okay, now in this one, when terms are there, the middle point of the mirror, which is called the pole of the mirror. Okay, this is represented by P. Here in this case, this is P. Okay, this point is P. This point is P, and second term is the center. Center of the sphere of which that mirror is part of, this is called center of curvature. Here also the center of curvature, this is point where the center of the sphere is there. This is called center of curvature. So second point is center of curvature. First one was pole, second one is center of curvature. 2 terms we have seen. Now the third term is a line. It is a line if we join center of curvature with the pole, then, and it is a continuous line. This line is called principal axis of the line which is passing through the center of curvature and pole and which is perpendicular to the surface. This is called principal axis. Here also this line is principal axis. In 2 dimension we can see it like this. Okay, but remember that it is in the 3 dimension and it is an imaginary line. We cannot see it like this. Okay, the fourth term, which is very important, that is called the focus. Now how do we find out the focus? For that you should know that how does the rays reflect from these surfaces. In this case, it is a diverging mirror, as I have told you before also. This is the diverging one and it is the converging one. So in the diverging one, when the ray which is parallel to principal axis incident on it, it diverges. It diverges in such a way that it is going in the other direction. The same way, this is the second ray which is parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, this ray diverges in this direction. Now the image is formed where the reflected rays meet or appears to meet. Okay, remember this thing, the rays which appear to meet or actually meet. Here in this case, these 2 reflected rays are going in the direction away from each other. So in front of the mirror, these rays will not meet. So at the back of the mirror, when we produce it at the backwards, here these 2 rays are meeting. So this is the image will be formed here. These 2 rays, where these 2 rays, reflected rays, appear to meet, this is called its focus. In the case of concave mirror, the rays after reflection, these are coming. This is the converging mirror. So the rays which are converged and it is passing through the principal axis, these 2 rays are intersecting at the same point. This point is called focus of this. Okay, so this point is called focus of the concave mirror. So this is the 4th term. So these 4 terms you have to keep in mind. And the 5th one more is there, that is called the aperture. Aperture, which is represented by capital A. This aperture is the size of this is the distance, or you can say the diameter of the mirror. This is the distance, suppose this is the mirror. So the distance between these 2 extreme points, this is called the aperture. Okay, so this is called the aperture of the mirror. So these terms are there which are related with the mirror. Now before going further, we should know how to draw the images. For that we should know the rules of images. Like we have done the rules of reflection, the same way here also rules of reflection will be there. But with that, what are the rules that rays will go in which direction, how will they meet, what will happen, and how can we find out the image? For that we should know first that the rule of reflection. Okay, now for the rule of reflection, I will make few diagrams and then I will explain it to you. Now for this, how the rays will reflect, different rays will reflect. First I am taking the ray which is parallel to the incidenting, parallel to the principal axis. As we can see for the focus, the ray which is parallel to the principal axis It is parallel to this. This is the principal axis, this is pole, this is center of curvature. It is the pole of the convex mirror, and this is the center of curvature of the convex mirror. After incidenting, it will converge, it will pass through the focus. And remember, this focus is the midpoint of center of curvature and pole. Okay, now it will pass through it. This is the first rule of reflection. In this case, the first rule is when the ray is incidenting, this is a polished surface, when the ray is incidenting parallel to principal axis, then after reflection it will go away. It will go in such a direction as if it is coming from the focus. Though it will not go at the back of the mirror, but it will go in the direction as if when we produce this ray, then it will pass through the focus. So this is the first rule. First rule, the ray which is parallel to principal axis, after reflection either it will pass through the focus in the case of concave mirror, and in the case of convex mirror it appears as if it is passing through the focus. So this is the first rule. Second rule is the ray which is passing through the focus. Suppose it is incidenting and it is passing through the focus. Then what will happen? When it is passing through the focus, the reverse of that will happen. It will become parallel to the principal axis. And in this case, the ray cannot pass through the focus because focus is at the back of the mirror. So it cannot pass through the focus, but the ray which is going towards the focus. Suppose the ray is incidenting in such a way, as if its direction is towards focus, then it will become parallel to the principal axis. So this is the first rule. Okay, second rule. First rule was the ray which is parallel to principal axis. Here the second rule is that the ray which is passing through the focus or going towards the focus. Okay, the third rule is the ray which is passing through the center of curvature. It will incident perpendicular on the surface, so it will retrace its path, means it will go back towards that path. In this case, the ray which is going towards the center of curvature, after reflection from this surface, it will reflect back from this surface. It will not go at the back, but reflect back, or it will retrace its path. So these are the three rules of reflection. Okay. Now the fourth rule. One more rule is there which we generally avoid. Okay, remember this thing. This rule I am telling you, this is also based on laws of reflection, but generally we avoid this rule. In this rule, what is the case? That if the ray is incidenting, any ray is incidenting at P, means P is the incident point, then what will happen? Because the principal axis is perpendicular or normal on the surface, so this angle I, the reflected ray will make the equal angle with the principal axis, angle R. Okay, remember that reflected ray will make the same angle. Same way here also, if the ray is incidenting on pole like this, then the angle between principal axis and the ray will be the angle equal to that angle between the principal axis and the reflected ray. But generally we avoid this rule. Okay, out of those three rules which I have told you before, out of those three rules we choose any two rules, okay, to find out the position of the image. Now why do we need 2 points? Only two rays we want there to find out the position of the image. Now what is the catch, or you can say that what is the process here? The process is that we say that any object is there, always we take the object on the principal axis. Here we are restricting our motion, or you can say that rays incidenting, we are restricting that the object will always be on the principal axis, its foot will be on the principal axis, and it will be erect, and from the tip we have to take two rays. Out of those 4 rules we have to take any 2 rays, and where these 2 rays after reflection meet or appear to meet, either these meet or appear to meet, that point will be the point of image. Okay, that will be the tip of the image, and from that tip we will drop the perpendicular on the principal axis. when I'll draw the figures, then it will be more clear to you that what I'm saying. But here remember this thing, that rules which we are taking, 4 rules, out of 4 rules we have to avoid the 4th rule, but out of 3 rules we have to take any 2. Okay, any 2 out of these 3. In rare cases we are taking the 4th rule. Okay, in rare cases we can take the 4th rule, but it is difficult to draw, and sometimes it does not give you the correct result. So that is why, though it will give, if you will draw it properly, it will give the correct result also, but generally we avoid that 4th one. Okay, so what are those 3 rules? That ray which is parallel to the principal axis, it passes through the focus or appears to come from the focus. Okay, second rule is the ray which is passing through the focus or going towards the focus, it becomes parallel to the principal axis. And the third rule is the ray which is passing through the center of curvature, it retraces its path, means it reflected back towards its own path. Okay, so these 3 rules are there. 4th rule is also there, the ray which is incidenting at pole, it will reflect back in such a way as if it's the angle between the incident ray and the principal axis will be equal to the angle between the reflected ray and the principal axis. Here in this case also the angle I and R will be equal. Okay, so these are the 4 rules. Okay, now we'll just see that how to find out the position of the image. It is very, very important. You should know how to draw the diagram, and you should know the position of the image for the different positions of the object. Okay, but before I draw, I'll just clarify this also, that here we are taking the rule. What is the rule we are taking? That object will always be erect and its foot will be always on the principal axis. From the tip of the from the tip of the object, 2 rays will take, and from those 2 rays we'll find out the position of the tip of the image. Now I'll make all 6 diagrams and then it will be more clear to you. Okay, so here I am taking that the image, first thing is position of the object is at infinitive. The infinitive, remember this thing, that when the object is infinitive, then it has been supposed by the scientist also, or they have taken it into consideration, that the rays which are coming from the infinitive, the tip of the object, those will be parallel to each other. It will, after covering so much distance, these will become parallel to each other. So the object is there, I am just taking that these 2 rays parallel to each other coming from the tip of the object. Okay, after reflection we all know that these 2 rays will pass through the focus according to the rule, because these 2 rays I have taken parallel to the principal axis. So these 2 rays after reflection will pass through the focus. So these 2 rays are meeting here. These are actually meeting. That means image will be real. It will be, if it is real, then it will be inverted. We cannot see it here, but it will be very small. Okay, highly diminished real image will be formed here. Okay, real and inverted image. And where it will be formed? It will be formed at the focus. So we have to write there for the position of the object infinitive, then position of the image will be focus, at focus it will be real, diminished, highly diminished and inverted. Okay, so that is the first case. Second case, when the object is at the finite distance from the but beyond C, beyond center of curvature. So I am taking the object here. Now this is the foot of the object. As you can see, it is on the principal axis, and from the tip the ray is going. I am taking 2 rays from the tip, where these 2 rays after reflection will meet or appear to meet. That will be the position of the tip of the image. Remember this thing. So I am taking it, that is the ray which is going there. Okay, it will be parallel to principal axis. After reflection it will pass through the focus. Another one we cannot take another one parallel to principal axis, so we will take another one which is passing through the center of curvature. I am taking here the center of curvature. When you draw with the pencil and scale, it will be more clear. Now the ray which is passing through center of curvature, it will go undimmed, means reflected ray. This will be the reflected ray. So one reflected ray is this and one reflected ray is this. So where these 2 rays are meeting? At this point. So this will be the tip of the image, and from here we will drop the perpendicular. So now this is the image. Here this is the image. It is inverted. and rays are actually meeting, so real, inverted, and between C and F, that is center of curvature and focus, and it will be real and inverted. Okay, and it will be diminished also. The size of the image is smaller than the size of the object. Okay, now I made other 4 also. Now in this case I have seen that first, when the object was at infinitive, then image was formed at focus. It was real, inverted, and highly diminished. Second case, when the object is beyond C but at the finite distance, then image will be formed between C and F. It is again real and inverted, diminished, not highly but diminished. Diminished means smaller than that, and between C and F. The third case is when the object is at C, that is at center of curvature. You see that from the center of curvature, when the ray, one ray is going there parallel to the principal axis I have taken, then it will pass through the focus. Another ray which is passing through the focus, it will become parallel. These two rays will meet when you will draw it properly. These two rays will meet at C only when you, this will be the tip of the image. From it you will see that the image is real, inverted, and of the same size of the object. Okay. The fourth case is when the object is between C and F, that is center of curvature and focus. Then I have made one ray which is parallel to the principal axis. After reflection it will pass through the focus. Another ray I have taken which is passing through the focus, it will become parallel to the principal axis. So where these two rays are meeting, it will be beyond C. When you will draw it, it will be, this is C, it will be beyond C. It will be enlarged, real, inverted, and enlarged compared to that object. So this is the fourth case. Fifth case, when the object is at focus. Okay, now when the object is at focus, as you can see, that ray which is parallel to principal axis, I have taken one ray which is going parallel to principal axis, passing through focus, and another ray from the tip, it is going in this direction as if it is coming from C. So in this direction it will retrace its path. So these two are the reflected rays. These two rays are parallel. So when we have taken that the rays which are coming from infinitive will become parallel in the first case. So assumption that we have taken. So here also we'll just say that image will be formed at infinitive. Now this image is formed at infinitive, that is in front of the mirror. That means it will be real and inverted and highly enlarged. Okay, here in this case, this is the opposite of the first case, that when the object was at infinitive, the image was at focus. Now if the object is at focus, then image will be at infinitive. Okay, so this is the case, fifth case. Now sixth case, which is important also, you should know if the object is between pole and focus. Then from the point we have taken, I have taken one ray which is parallel to principal axis. This is smaller one. When you will draw, you will get it. It is in your book also. Then it will pass through the focus. Second ray I have taken which is passing through the center of curvature. As we can see that these two reflected rays are going apart, means these will not meet in front of the mirror. So that means we have to produce it at the back. When we produce it, it appears as if these two are meeting at the back of the mirror. When it appears, that means the image is virtual. So virtual image will be made at the back of the mirror and it will be enlarged compared to the object. It is enlarged, it is virtual, then that means it is erect. Virtual, erect, enlarged image will be formed at the back of the mirror. You have to remember this sixth case also properly because this is very important. After this, I will just explain to you the numericals. Okay.